All right. Happy Christmas. Merry Christmas. Whatever you want. We're here to educate you about the Packers, 12-3 now on the season. But everything wasn't great. We all know it wasn't great. Some things were pretty good. Some things were not so good. One really positive note I got is Mason started kicking the ball straight for the first time in 17 years or whatever it was. All of a sudden he kicks it straight. I was like, hey, it works way better when you just kick it straight, right?
I guess. I don't know. It's weird.
It was weird for him, but it was better because I knew if he was going to make it or not right away, and it was nice. Anyway, there's some misconceptions out there we got to point out. I got a new webcam, probably not good for you because it's sharper and you see how old I look now. But
your hair looks terrible.
I got to up my game. Got to up my game a little bit here. And we got some other up your game things coming up later too. All right. I'm still rocking the Lindy Infante 1985 headset though, or 89 headset. 89 from the 10-6 season. Autographed on the back.
Greatest Packer season of all time.
One of the best coaching jobs of all time.
I don't know about that, but it was a great season.
We'd have to go back and look. Okay, so we got a bunch of videos to look at. We got some other things to look at as well. First of all, bro, quick overview, general thoughts about the game yesterday, Christmas Day game against the Browns.
Well, there's so many things that we have to talk about and we have videos for. So bottom line is this. At the start of the game, or probably somewhere in the first, second quarter, after Lazard had a catch or something, I don't know if it was the touchdown or some other time where he pushed off a little bit and then got away and then caught the ball. And there was a no call. And I was like, and I texted in our group text, I was like, ooh, the refs are letting them play today. Let's see how long that lasts. Well, it lasted the whole game. And even Rasul Douglas in his post-game interview said, hey, the refs are letting us play. He's like, and they asked him about the last interception. And he's like, I grabbed the guy, but I let go before the ball was in the air. He's like, when the ball's in the air, you can't touch anybody. So I know that much. I just broke on the ball and made the pick. Okay. And you can look at some plays earlier, and like there was a second down play after that debacle. I'll show you the debacle play later on that stupid end around. That was just a freaking mess. They on 1st and 10 where they lost freaking like 12 yards. It was like 2nd and 22 or some crap after that. Anyways, the very next play, Lazard got his butt kicked and Rodgers threw it to him and no call. So I don't want to, and Brown fans are freaking out about the whole no call on Douglas when he grabbed the guy and then spun around. But like throughout the game, there were plays on both sides and the refs let it go. No, they're Packer fans too? But a lot of Viking fans, I know that.
The announcing team, man, did they go on and on and on about any of those things. And then when Alan Lazard is running down the right sideline and has to make a one-handed catch because the guy's holding his left arm the entire time.
Well, he was pushing off too.
Yeah, but then the guy grabbed it and he wrapped it. I can show you in slow motion, frame by frame, how many times that guy wrapped and grabbed his arm. Multiple times, did not let it go. So he has to catch it with one hand. And all they did was say, oh, what a one-handed catch. And then they moved on real quick. But I can also tell you, if you watch even just the highlights and we can share sound, but I'll let you do it on your own because we got too many other videos to watch. So the play happened where Douglas made the interception. All of the time between then and when the Packers had their first offensive snap to get the ball back, the announcers are still talking about it.
I know.
And then 2 plays later, they're still talking about it. It's insane. It is insane.
It's not insane because it sucked in freaking butt monkey Aikman. They suck. Caught.
I understand.
Caught.
Yes, I get all that.
Caught.
But I'm just saying, you can and I'm a Packers fan, and I get it. But as a neutral observer, you cannot dispute that fact. Alan Lazard getting his arm held, has to make a one-handed catch. Zero mention of his arm being held multiple times throughout that whole pass pattern and the catch as well. Just, oh, what a one-handed catch. Let's move on. And we don't talk about anything. But the little hold by Douglas which would have only been a hold as well. That would not have set the
Yeah,
Browns
the
up.
ball
It couldn't have
was
been a
not
PI.
in the air yet.
And the ball was deflected by Devonte Campbell. So PI cannot be called when the ball is deflected. So even that, it would have been a 5-yard holding call. That's it, if the officials made the call, which they hadn't been making all game, like you said. But, oh, my God, like that just gave the Packers the game. For plays and minutes and almost till the end of the game, we had to talk about it.
Who cares?
I care because it's ridiculous.
What's ridiculous is that every week we have to listen to Aikman and Buck, and I'm sick of them.
I know. Why do they always? You know one thing.
I'm so sick of them always getting the Packer game. It's like, I don't care if it's the best game. Don't give them the best game. They suck.
But exactly. And just think about this. This is the only thing that gives me like a little bit of joy from it, is that they have to do Packers games almost every week. And they clearly hate the Packers, yet they have to keep doing Packers games. So at least it gives me a little bit of joy that those guys have to sit there for 3.5 hours and completely hate what they're watching, and the end result with the Packers winning all the time. So that's double birds to Aikman and Suck. Anyway,
yeah, they suck.
Rick, how you doing? Love
they
you, man.
Suck.
Glad you checked in. All right, continue.
But anyways,
I'm done with them now,
that's
but
my main thing is the refs let the guys play.
Yeah.
And, I mean, Douglas took advantage of it. Period. And the other thing is the Packers were really bad against the run. And a lot of it had to do with
really bad
guys being in the wrong hole, guys being in the right hole and just standing there not doing anything. And I got plays to show it. As well as Kenny Clark
unblock guys.
And Kenny Clark is not
unblock.
Good.
No support.
How is he a Pro Bowler? I don't understand. I watched the Rams against the Vikings today. Aaron Donald is a monster.
Except when he plays the Packers. The Packers.
That's because the Packers, they just let him go. And they don't even go run at him or anything. You know what I'm saying? But Kenny Clark is so slow. He's like slower than me. And I know you're like, well, he's 100 pounds more than you. He does weigh 100 pounds more than me. But he's also an athletic guy who's supposed to be like an athletic freak. And I'm a white, old, 47-year-old slow guy who's always been slow. Even when I was like 17 and 165 pounds, I was slow. Actually, I was only 155 pounds. But anyways, I was still slow. So it doesn't matter. He looks like me out there. But that's the main things. Really bad against the run. Holy crap. Thank God that the Browns are stupid and they keep passing, because Baker Mayfield is just throwing up wounded ducks and throwing into, I don't know what's going on. And then, like I said, Packers, on offense, there's a couple things I want to talk about, but whatever. Let's go. There's so many things to talk about. It's crazy. But they won the game. They won the game.
Won the game. So let me just make a couple other quick points, and then let's dig into a little more specific plays. Number one is I'm just tired of people downplaying the Packers, the way they're winning. It's not very impressive, and they look like they're good, but they're not good enough. And I say that stupid Bill Huber article, which was terribly written and also just bad. And it's like, dude,
well, it's be a Bill Huber.
You are judged, but you are judged by your competition, right? So right now, the Packers are playing teams with winning records. They're playing teams contending for the playoffs, and they're beating them. So that's good enough. That's better than good enough. That's good. You're beating teams. You're winning the game. Nobody cares about how you win the game. Nobody cares about if you had a big lead and they closed on you, but you held on. Nobody cares about any of that stuff. It's about winning the game. Like, yeah, you want to clean stuff up. You want to be impressive. You want to play great and efficient. Awesome. But at the end of the day, you just want to win. So number one, there's that. Okay, go look at the Buccaneers schedule. Go look at the Cowboys schedule when everybody's announcing, the Cowboys is like, the best team in the NFC. They had beaten a bunch of crap teams. Like, just get over it. You're playing the competition in the NFL. If you win and you have the best record, that means you're the best team. Period. Number one.
And the Cardinals lost again.
Yeah, and everybody's saying how great the Cardinals were, and they can't beat these other teams. So, get over it. The Packers are winning these games. Other teams have had comebacks like this and then given up the lead and found a way to lose the game. The Packers have given up the lead and found a way to still win the game.
Except for against the Vikings.
That, man. Right, which also scares me. Now, the other clear thing that was showcased.
Coming up against the Vikings.
Yeah, right. And I think they're going to get swept by the Vikings this year. Now,
they might be.
The other clear thing that's been shown is that the other team's offensive coordinators continue to help the Packers win the game.
They're freaking dumb.
I just stupid. Like
they're as dumb as LaFleur, though. They're as dumb as LaFleur.
They're worse. Come on, Nick Chubb had 9 yards a carry. I mean, these other dudes, they were averaging like 10 yards.
Not even
a carry.
Chubb, even number 30, whoever that guy is, was killing us. I mean, it didn't matter who was back. They could have put me back there. I would have got like 3-4 yards every time.
and they just
had Kenny Clark back there. He would have got 3 or 4 yards every time.
And there were comments, right? There were comments about, if they'd run the ball more in the first half, it would have been. If they'd run the ball in the last drive, they probably would have won. Yeah. All they had to do was run the ball, or throw screen passes, or throw it to the flat. That's what they should have done every single play, and they
not the flat.
They probably would have won the game.
I got some videos to show you. Do not throw it to the flat.
Okay.
Apparently the Packers love to double cover the flat and then leave guys wide open 9-10 yards downfield. That was the plan yesterday. Let's play 10 yards off,
cover the
double the flat, and then leave everything between the line of scrimmage and the 10-yard line wide open. But we'll cover that flat because with 2 guys.
But I mean, seriously though, it's just astounding how dumb. Like, I don't understand if it's just they're just bored. It's like, oh no, this stuff works too well. Like, we have to throw it down the field. I mean, guys, and that's why my question in this was: it Baker? Is Baker really to blame? I don't blame Baker Mayfield. I blame the stupid coaches.
It's the same. Yeah, it's the same as like when we watched the Bears last year with Trubisky. Remember how they'd be killing us, and then they like, we got to take a shot here. So they would just call a deep pass with Trubisky, and he'd just throw it into triple coverage and get it picked off by Kevin King. And you're like, why? And even today, the Rams are kicking the crap out of the Vikings. And Matthew Stafford just like, I'm going to throw a deep bomb because I feel like it. So he throws a 55-yard bomb, and both Harrison Smith and the other guy are back there, and they pick it off. And it's like, it was second down. Like, these coaches are like, we're going to take a shot here. It's like, no, you don't have to take a shot here. Just run the freaking offense. And then they take a shot, and even the Packers do that sometimes.
Yeah, I know.
And it's like, Rodgers usually does it on third down. It'll be like 3rd and 3, and then he takes a shot like a ding dong. And then they got to punt.
He likes that, though. He likes those third down shots when it's like 3rd and a couple yards.
Right, we got a lot of videos to watch, so we should probably get some more videos.
It is just, and that even goes back into history. I don't know how far back, but I do remember all those years the Vikings had Adrian Peterson, and he would be killing them, and then all of a sudden they'd start throwing the ball, and you're like, thank you. I mean, I don't understand it, but it's helping the Packers. So you cannot deny that the other team's offensive coordinator has helped the Packers win a bunch of games this year.
Yeah, there's only two other teams, 3 teams that fear me right now.
Me too.
The Eagles, because they run the ball a lot.
Yep.
Actually, I take that back. 4. The Eagles and the 49ers in the NFC.
49ers for sure. Yep, 49ers. Yeah.
They'll run the ball 100 times. They don't give a crap. And
Vikings
then teams
too, maybe.
Sometimes
are they too dumb? They're too dumb.
They do some dumb stuff sometimes.
All right.
And the other team, the Vikings, a little bit. And then the Colts and the Patriots in the AFC. If they meet the Colts and the Patriots in the Super Bowl, then they're going to lose because they will run the ball.
Right. Belichick will do it. You know that.
And so will the Colts with Taylor, and even with the other guy, Heine or whatever his name is.
Yep.
I don't know what his name was. Little guy, 21. Either way. But any other team, I'm worried because they'll do stupid crap because they got to take a shot. All points come in big plays. No, not always. Ding dongs, stupid.
When you're controlling the game and controlling the clock and controlling the ball, like I mean, make them stop you. Make them stop you before you change. I don't understand it. Anyway, continue. Let's show some plays.
Okay, you got some plays, or do I have all the plays?
Well, I got some. I mean, I went through the highlights and I got some critiques of Eric Stokes, which is pretty scary, and Rasul Douglas, who I have a hot take on that some people are probably not going to like.
Probably me.
And well, you show me I'm wrong then. And then I also wanted to just give credit to. I mean, I wanted to show a play where Lucas Patrick actually got the first down. Actually, he was assisted by Yash. Everybody was like, Dylan pushing the. Actually, it was Lucas Patrick, and he did that a couple times in the fourth quarter. So I think Lucas Patrick actually had 3 rushing first downs yesterday. Just a heads up, but anyway, that's fine. What do you got?
You want to go defense or offense first?
If you start going defense, that's fine.
Okay.
No, should we get the offense out of the way? What are we trying to what are we trying to clear up here first for people?
Okay, here first, before we even do anything from the actual game, I want to play some sound here.
All right.
I want to play some sound here because this is a very important blasphemous statement that came from yesterday. I almost fell over when I heard this. I could not believe what was said. Here you go.
It is me.
And I'm going to play the audio. Hopefully we can hear it. Tell me. I want you to be able to hear this. I don't know where my play button is. Where's my play button? I can't find it.
Just click him in the middle. He'll probably go.
There it is.
Matt Steinman.
You got sound?
Aaron, just to clarify before my actual question, Devontae's best offensive player, or is he overtaken Seawood best overall player?
Most dominant player.
Okay. And Devontae said.
Okay, that was a really that was a terrible spot to put that sound thing in there. But what he said was, most dominant player I've played with. That's what he said.
What?
That's what he said. Over Charles Woodson, most dominant player he's ever played with. Over Charles Woodson. Okay, because he even asked me, because in Matt Schneidman, I'm going to say Matt Schneidman. He said, just to clarify, Aaron, not best offensive player or best total player. And earlier he called him the best player. One of the best player he played with. He said that earlier in the interview. But this was the one where after he got the clarification.
Yep.
Devonte Adams, the most dominant. I mean, that was the quote. That was the quote.
Most dominant.
The guy who I can name 5 receivers in Packers history that are better than Devonte Adams. And I can name 3 that Aaron Rodgers played with who are better than Devonte Adams. Double D.
Go ahead.
Greg Jennings and Jordy Nelson. All 3 of those players are better than Devonte Adams. The only difference between those 3 players and Devonte Adams is that those 3 guys weren't forced the ball 170, 182 times a season. Guess what? Jordy Nelson would have destroyed everybody if he would have got 180 passes thrown his way.
Right.
Are you kidding me? Right. Double D could get open off of anybody because of his juke moves and his agility. He made catches, jumping up, crazy, doing all kinds of stuff. And Greg Jennings, as much as everybody gives him crap because he talked crap about Rodgers and all this other stuff, got off the ball just actually better than Devonte Adams, ran better routes than Devonte Adams, way better hands than Devonte Adams, and 1,000 times more speed than Devonte Adams. Greg Jennings is by far a better player than even Aaron or even Jordy Nelson and Double D, but for sure way better than Devonte Adams. So Rodgers is insane.
And you're right. You're
mentally
right.
Unstable or something. I don't understand.
Well, he's proven many times that, what he says isn't necessarily what he, it doesn't have to be based in fact or whatever, and that's fine. But the point is, the point that you made, which is very clear, is that those guys just didn't get the same type of opportunities. They didn't get the same length of time to play with him or at that same type of focus on them on the offense, right? Yeah. I mean, come on. That's clear. I would take it beyond Charles Woodson. I would also say Tramon Williams was a more dominant player than Devonte Adams.
Okay, now hold on.
At his position, I would say he was more effective.
I mean, I know you love Tramon, but I mean, that's
I do love Tramon. Don't make me go back and show you all those stats again. That run with the Packers for 8 or 9 years right there. How long has Devonte Adams been playing?
I don't know.
I guarantee you I'll look up his stats. But
8 years?
He hasn't had, and the first couple were kind of iffy. So it wasn't until like his 3rd or 4th year that he really started to become a featured guy, right? So we're looking at a 4 or 5 year window of Devonte Adams versus an 8, 9 year window of Tramon Williams. Come on. Not even close. I don't care.
Well, just to prove my point.
Clay Matthews? Was Clay Matthews more dominant than Devonte Adams?
I don't know. He's pretty good though.
Yeah, okay.
This is,
and I wasn't a Clay Matthews fan. I'm not, but
I wasn't a huge fan, but he worked hard.
Except middle linebacker. I really liked him at middle linebacker.
Yeah, he was great at middle linebacker. One more thing before I show this play.
All right.
after the game, both Rodgers and Devonte Adams claimed that the Packers took the foot off the gas, said they weren't aggressive enough, and they need to. Rodgers said, like, they need to trust. We need to trust. LaFleur needs to trust me when the game's on the line. They trust me to do the right, get us in the right call. Blah 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 blah. Okay, that's what he said. This is the fourth quarter, 1st and 10 with 3 minutes to go. You have a 2-point lead. There are two things you should be worried about doing here. Number one, let's take some time off the clock. Let's do that. That would be smart. Or force the Browns to use some timeouts or something, right? That makes sense. Okay. And previously, on previous downs, they had the stupid reverse dump thing that left them in a bad hole. And then the next time, Aaron Jones had a 7-yard gain on 1st down. And then something else happened. And then they had a stupid play that I want to show later. But we're talking about Devonte Adams right now.
Well, that play involved Devonte Adams and
I know.
And St. Brown too, which was the weird part.
We'll show that. But let's watch this first. There's two things we got to watch. Up here is Devonte Adams. Okay.
Most dominant player of all time. I mean,
most dominant player of all as Aaron Rodgers ever played with. I mean, so dominant. And then down here we have, here's the other thing. It's very interesting. Let's take a look at the middle of the field here, right? In coverage, there is 1, 2, 3, 4 guys on this side of the line of scrimmage. Over here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 possible receiving threats out of the backfield and on the line of scrimmage, with only 4 guys to cover those 4 players. Over here we have Devonte Adams with 1 guy right in his face, a linebacker here to cut off any type of a slant or anything like that, and a guy to worry about the deep coverage over the top. If you are a 17-year veteran quarterback on 1st and 10, when all you need to do is complete a pass and run some clock and possibly get a couple yards to get yourself ready to, take over the game, complete the game, would you throw the ball to the side where you have numbers 4 against 4, or would you throw the side where you have numbers 1 against 3? Jason, what would you do?
I'd throw it probably to the flat to A.J. Dillon with some guys blocking out in front and let him get some yards.
I would change the call to that right now.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing that's so dumb. On this play, this guy, I think it's the St. Brown, he runs a streak. Yep. Lazard runs a in route at about 11 yards. DeGuara runs in the route at about 7 yards. DeGuara and Lazard both get open on this play because there's only 4 guys here. There's only 4 guys. What are they going to do? They can't cover all 3, 4 of these guys unless it's man, and they're not playing man. You can tell they're playing zone because we got a corner lined up over here on a tight end. So it's zone. Except for on this side, they're playing man, or they're playing tight zone man. I don't know what they're doing over here. So when you watch this play go, first of all, A.J. Dillon, I don't know what he's doing. I guess he's going to help block. No, he's not. He's just running backwards 12 yards for some reason. I don't quite know what that pattern is. But Rodgers never looks over here, not once. He's just looking at Devontae the whole time. And he's not open. And he's not going to get open. But let's take a look right here. Look at DeGuara. This guy is 7 yards off of him. Look at here. Lazard's going to break, and the linebacker is looking at Rodgers. When Lazard breaks, he can throw the ball right here. Lazard can make that catch.
So before I'm trying to figure out. So Royce Newman, where is he? He's actually behind both those guys. Is Lucas trying to block both those guys? I don't know what's happening there, but okay.
It's bad. It's bad protection. There's no doubt. But what I'm saying is, because he thinks Devonte is the most dominant player, he's always got to go to Devonte.
Most dominant.
And what happens? So dominant.
We just can't come up with
so dominant. I mean, nobody's more dominant than that guy. Look at him.
I will also say this.
Oh, it's in his hands. It was in his hands.
It's a little choppy and laggy. Just a heads up to you.
Yeah,
so
I know. It always is.
I know, but you might want to just kind of freeze frame stuff at times, or slow it down or whatever, just to there you go, give it better.
Let's take a look right there.
He didn't really get open, and the ball's there, and he still could catch it right there.
It's in his hands right now.
Yeah.
And the defensive player is not touching his hands right now. He touched them earlier. That could have been pass interference, but they didn't call it. Sure. But nobody's complaining about that.
No.
Okay, go ahead, talk. But like right now, it's in his hands. It's in his hands.
The Browns, I was impressed.
Look at it. It's still in his hands.
The Browns, right? Right. The guy's falling off of him. He should hang on to it. But the Browns defensive backs, I was impressed with the way they hit, they tackled, were physical. I liked a lot of it. Liked the way they played.
Yeah. But that guy's the most.
I wish I would see more of that.
He just dropped it, dude.
I know. That happens a lot. A lot of people think D-backs broke it up, and it's like, your guy had it in his hands. He could have caught it.
So how much time can you have to clock there? 5 seconds. When you're up by 2 points and you need to run the clock. Genius, Rodgers. But let's trust in Rodgers and Devonte. Now this play, I just have it. I'm just running it because I want people to know what happened within 2 plays of each other. The most dominant player of all time. Okay, first of all, this is a screen pass, and Aaron Jones gets tackled by Royce Newman. I want you to watch Royce Newman. This is what happens. Aaron Jones breaks this guy's tackle and then gets tackled by Royce Newman. Okay, so he catches it. He's turning. I don't know what Royce is doing. Like, Royce is running to tackle Aaron Jones. Like, look at him. Like, if he just stood there and did nothing, it would be better. And Lucas is thinking he's going to get there, but Lucas is like, nah, I'm not going to get there now. And then Runyon Bunyan's way up here. Like, this play is terrible. Yeah, but if all these guys would have just did nothing, Aaron Jones would have broken this tackle and probably got a couple more yards. But he breaks the tackle. And then look, who makes the tackle? Royce Newman. Aaron Jones breaks the tackle, and then Royce and Lucas tackle him.
Royce, well, this is one where Lucas is at least trying to, after he screwed up, he's like, okay, let's go.
And he got hurt. So Royce and Lucas tackled Aaron Jones on a play where he probably would have got the first down if they would have just not done anything. But that's not the kicker. This is the real kicker here.
Which one is this?
At least that was a completion, though, and time's coming off the clock. Now, we could have had a whole nother, probably 70 seconds coming off the clock, a whole nother minute if they would have completed a first down, or even ran the ball on first down, then ran the ball on third down. But this is the play.
One quick shout out here on every play. Not every play was he great, but Yashi's been doing okay. He's doing pretty good. I mean, give the guy some cred, man.
Now, look at this play. It's 3rd and 6. Devonte beats his guy.
Beat him.
Aaron Rodgers throws a perfect pass.
Close to perfect. Could have been a little closer to him.
That was a perfect pass.
That's a pass easy catch. Easy catch for anybody.
The most dominant player that Rodgers has ever played with. Look at that. That should be a catch. Remember how everybody complained that Aaron Jones should have caught that ball in the end zone at the end of the first half? I don't remember what game that was, but he did catch it. He fell to the ground, had a knee and his ass on the ground, and they called it an incomplete pass. And here's the most dominant player Aaron Rodgers ever played with. Hits him right in the hands on a perfect pass. And 2 plays earlier, he dropped it. And all they got to do is complete a pass and run some damn clock. Because, LaFleur, you got to trust Aaron Rodgers and Devonte Adams that they'll make the play. Don't be conservative. And when LaFleur trusted Devonte and Aaron Rodgers, here's what happens.
And there, I will say this too. Some of the most inaccurate. Just let me say this here. Let me say this.
4 plays in a row.
Let me say it.
I'm going to play that again.
Some of the most inaccurate statements were made after this game, saying, "Whoa, Devonte Adams dropping that pass. You never see that. You never."
I just showed you 2 plays within 3 plays where he dropped 2 passes in a row.
We see it every year. We have seen it every year.
We've seen it in the NFC Championship game last year. In the end zone.
It happens. He has an issue catching the ball. Like, I will give you, he makes some crazy catches that other guys might not make sometimes. But he drops the ball. He drops it a lot of times when he should catch it. Like, it's been every year. It's not like 2-3 a game or in like a big rash all the time. And once in a while you get a game like that. But he drops passes. He has always had that as an issue. Just to clarify, just so you know.
Listen, Devonte Adams is a possession receiver with suspect hands.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard of a possession receiver with suspect hands before? Because he sure isn't a speed receiver. He isn't going to beat you downfield.
Not one that wants to be the highest paid and that everybody says, pay them already, pay that guy.
It blows my mind. And I'm not saying he's not a good player. He is a good player.
Yeah, right, he is.
But he most certainly is not the best receiver in the league right now. He most certainly is not the most dominant player Aaron Rodgers has ever played with. I can tell you that. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm with you. 100% with you. He's a very good player, but he's overhyped. And that statement was probably wow. And I get it. He wants to pump up his guy and all that stuff, but you cannot pay that guy top dollar. You just can't. And I like the way he thinks about the game. I like how smart he is. I don't like how he's very aware of his numbers and what he's doing and all this stuff. Not all that in love with that, but I certainly think he's a really good player. It's just that he's not worth what he thinks he's worth. That's all.
It's kind of,
and he's had drop problems forever. I mean, his whole career. I don't want to hear it. I mean, he just has. And if we wanted to go back year by year and show you drops, we could show you plenty of drops every single year. And you can say everybody drops the ball. Okay, fine. All you guys are going to bring that up. Okay. But not when you're supposed to want to be the highest paid dude in the world and you're going to be a guy that's trusted to win the game when you need to play, when you got to have it, right? And you're supposed to be the focal point guy, then have it. When you got to have it, then be accountable. Be the guy that's reliable. And if you're not going to be, then you can't be paid like the guy that's going to be the number one guy.
And I don't have a problem if, not everybody's perfect. Like, nobody's perfect. But that was the last couple plays that they had on offense, really.
Right. And then
after the game, they complained about, and then after the game, they complained that they weren't aggressive enough in the second. Like, are you kidding me? That's what you're going to complain about after you two guys? Rodgers doesn't look for anybody but Devonte on the first play when he could have easily had a completion to DeGuara or a first down to Lazard if he had just hang on for a second. And then the next time, Devonte just drops a wide open, perfect pass from Rodgers. And then they talk smack saying that LaFleur is not aggressive enough. That's what bothers me. Shut up.
I don't like it.
You're not that good. You're not as good as you think you are.
True that. You're still probably a couple of the best players on our team, but you're not as good as you think you are.
But it's like, it's just the audacity to say that crap after you just dropped two passes. Are you kidding me?
Is this the third down pitch play?
This is the play.
All right.
This is the air.
Let me
talk about it. Set it up.
Before you roll anything, let's just talk about this. Now, you mentioned it. Aaron Jones had to run up the gut for like 7 yards on first down. We're looking good on second and third down. Okay, there's 7.5 minutes to go. The Packers are up by 9 points here, 24-15. Okay, they're backed up. They're trying to get some yardage, trying to get some first downs, trying to control the game, control the clock. And Ben Braden had to come in for Yash, cold off the bench. LaFleur wanted to do some running plays. This is a sequence these guys complained about. And then got their way, and then Ben just showed you how they didn't come through when they got their way. But you have, I don't remember what happened. It was a short run on second down. I think it was up the middle. Now on third down, and Ben pointed out in the group chat we were in saying, hey, was it a bad play call? It's worked a bunch of times today. Now, my issue with it is two issues. Number one, I didn't like the call because you only needed 1 yard and you had a team. Just wait, let me finish. And you had a team with very physical corners and safeties who were flying up to make tackles, right? And they're also realize right now we got to get a stop here. We got to get a stop here to have a chance in this game. So they're playing the run. They are playing to stop the run here. But if you can block it up and give a guy like Aaron Jones a crease, probably better chance you're going to get 1 yard going straight forward than trying to beat him to the outside on a pitch play. That's number one. Number two.
Better yet, how about A.J. Dillon? A crease going forward.
Sure, that's fine.
That's what they should have done.
When they plug up the holes, like this, or they really play, all the gaps, Jones is better at finding a little opening than Dillon is, but that's fine. But the other major issue is you're running this play to the wrong side because of the receivers you have. You have Lazard going up to the right side, the top of the screen. He is your goon. He's your best blocking guy. He blocks defensive ends. He digs all these guys. Okay, we hear about it all the time, and he does a pretty good job for a receiver. And who do we have blocking? Instead, on the side that you're trying to run out, you have your left tackle who just came in the game cold, was not that fast in the first place, and he's supposed to get out and lead on a pitch play, stretch play. And your guys who are supposed to hold the edge and seal down so you can get outside are Equanimous St. Brown and Devonte Adams. Is Devonte Adams known for blocking? No. Is Equanimous St. Brown known for anything? No.
Oh.
Please tell me why. So those are the two issues I have with it, and this is what happened. It was terrible. Okay, I want you to pause it a little bit. Go back and pause that initial surge here, because this gets so hairy and ugly right away. It's ridiculous. Watch those two receivers, okay? Now, I'm going to explain to you what's happening here. Just wait. Yep. Go back a second. Right before they take off, right before Braden's trying to get out. On this play, what you're asking your left tackle to do is jump out, okay? So he's got to loop out and pull. He's pulling out. In order for him to pull, he's supposed to come straight down the line here. In order for him to pull, that receiver has to down block and seal that guy on the end, okay? And that is JOK, who comes flying up the field because he wants to stop the run. He's super fast. And Equanimous St. Brown, first of all, go step by step here. He gets destroyed by JOK right away. And look how far Braden has to then go 3 yards or 2 yards further backward just to try to get out to the sideline where he needs to get to lead the play. The other seal guy, so Runyon's kind of sealing his guy good enough. Patrick is at least kind of getting out there to slow that guy down a little bit, which it could have worked if the seal guys got their job done. And then Adams is right there. Now, I'm just going to say, I've done this before at a completely different level, high school level. I understand it's not the same, but the basic principles are the same. Devonte Adams, your job right here is to shadow, is to basically use your body in any way you need to prevent that guy from getting past you. And if that means you get run over, but he trips and falls on you, that's fine. Because your job is just to keep your body in front of that guy and seal him. So then Braden can loop around, get on that defensive back. Jones can follow those blocks, get to the outside, and you have a first down. But that is not what happens here.
Well, here's the other thing that makes no sense. The first down marker is here. Aaron Jones is getting the ball 9 yards behind first down marker.
Yeah.
I mean, you're making this so hard. If it would just be an A.J. Dillon up the gut, he'd get the ball right about here, and he'd only have to go 4 yards. Here's the other thing. Mercedes Lewis, who's so good of a blocker, he's almost like another tackle out there, right? That's what they keep saying.
Tackle, yeah.
He's not even blocking anybody because why? But why are we not using him on short yardage play?
I
Lazard, like you said, is not blocking
the wrong
anybody.
side.
And JOK, like you said, is super awesome because he knows, okay, I'm not going to get through him, but I'm going to shove the crap out of him so that it messes up this whole play because he read it was a pitch. And he knows the best way to screw up a pitch is to just blow up everybody so that Aaron Jones got nowhere to go. So he's taking out two guys here.
And look how far, like I said, look how far Braden had to retreat just to try to get down, get to the outside.
It's dumb. And Devonte, of course, blocks nobody. And guess who makes the tackle? Of course.
Watch Devontae's pathetic effort. Watch his pathetic effort here. I just told you what he needs to do. Come on.
This guy's past him.
Come on.
The other thing is,
And
It's
right
too
now,
bad.
Braden's screwed. He's like, I can try to pick that guy, but otherwise, I'm supposed to go to that guy right in front of me. That's his guy. That corner that's sitting out there trying to stop this play at the 30-yard line, that is who Braden's supposed to block. Adams was supposed to shadow and stop that penetration, seal block that other guy who's
This
now
is Braden's guy
upfield,
here.
who is now upfield, and now it's totally screwed.
And look at here. This guy's chasing down Aaron Jones too, but Jones is fast enough to beat him, so that doesn't matter.
It's all those two receivers and the tackle. It's their job to really make this play work. The inside guys are kind of holding them up enough. Like now Patrick can't stay with his guy. Royce can't stay with his guy, but Jones could still get the first down if you had the seal and if Braden could pick off that corner in the front. But it doesn't happen.
And look at Devonte Adams.
Yeah.
Look at his posture. What is that? Like, he doesn't do anything.
If you're the most dominant, I don't care what you are, but if you're the most dominant guy Aaron Rodgers ever played with, you would at least get that seal block there. At least get in the guy's way. At least get in the guy's freaking
Here,
way.
he elbowed this guy right here. See? Look.
Myles Garrett. Yeah, okay. Nice.
And I think Jones slowed down.
Braden does the best he can here because he's trying to kick out now. But it's not supposed to be a kick out for him. He was supposed to be able to loop around and lead up. But because of all that penetration, he couldn't lead up. He had to try for a kick out. The inside then pursuit was able to get Jones because he had to cut inside Braden's block instead of going to the outside of Braden's block or just following off his tail. So it's a mess. And again, I guess I'm going to go back to this is a coaching problem here. I'm going to go back to that because just like I don't blame Baker Mayfield for throwing all those crappy passes when the team should have done something different. The team should have done something different here. They ran this play to the wrong side.
Well,
or with the wrong guy, the wrong alignment. If you put
the
Big
wrong
Dog on that
guys
side, you put Big Dog and Lazard out there, it probably works. But you got
you know what you do?
Equanimous St. Brown and Devonte Adams as your two key blockers on that play. No.
And a guy who hasn't played a down all year until 2 plays earlier he came in the game at left tackle, and he's your pulling guard or pulling tackle.
So dumb.
It was a dumb play call. I was wrong.
Terrible.
When people said it was a dumb play call, and I just said it was bad execution, I was wrong. It was a dumb play call. It should have been A.J. Dillon up the gut, period. And if it didn't work, it didn't work.
Well, like I said, you could try. That pitch play worked a number of times during the game, and you were right about that. But I guarantee you it didn't work with Equanimous St. Brown and Devonte Adams as your key blockers. Guarantee you it didn't work with those guys.
Now we're going to watch something. It's called the dumbest play ever.
All right.
All right, you ready? It's the dumbest play ever. And I hate being this negative all the time. I really do. But I can't take it anymore. I do.
Okay.
First and 10 with a minute to go.
Well, you know what?
With a 9-point lead.
You know what you're doing is you're showing. So here's what a bunch of people said, and I'm just going to say this. Like people say we're being negative, but you know what? Here's what we're doing. We're showing you some of the reasons why the Packers had they had a great offense in the first half. What happened in the second half? This is what happened. It wasn't just that they stunk in the second half. They had some questionable play calls, bad decisions with personnel involved in those play calls, and then some guys missed some plays that are supposed to be your key guys, like Adams dropping a couple passes. So that's what happened. Not just that, the team was just, all out of sorts. And no, these are the things that happen.
This is the worst play I've ever seen.
All right, let's see it.
So it's not moving. Hang on. Here's the part that's the worst. Okay, so right here, Runyon Bunyan is pulling this way. Okay. You've got DeGuara pulling this way. What they're trying to do is trick the defense to think that the play is going to go this way. Okay, by pulling 2 of their best blockers this way. But it's really a reverse, right? That's supposed to go to St. Brown around the edge. And the guys who are blocking on this side is Devonte Adams, which we already proven from what previous video that he's not going to block anybody, so it's really stupid. And then they ask Lazard to pick up a defensive end. Because Braden, instead of taking the defensive end, takes the tackle that was left because Runyon pulled. And then Lukey is supposed to block for a second and then come out and help block this way. And then DeGuara is supposed to run this way and then turn around and come back again and block. There's so many moving parts in this play that even if one guy screws up, it's a disaster. But the problem was, and it was mostly one guy who screwed up, and that's Lazard. So here's the next section. Oh, shoot. It's not going to go. Here we go. Okay.
Let's see it.
So this here, this is Lazard.
So,
I know, but there's nothing I can do.
No, I don't mean that. I mean, okay, so Royce Newman just
He's right
let
here.
that guy fly in there. I know, but do you see the guy that's standing next to DeGuara right now?
Yeah, I know.
Royce Newman just let him fly right past. There's no way Patrick can get that guy because Patrick's supposed to come out and help block on the edge.
Well, Patrick's going this way.
I
He's
know.
supposed to come around and get over here.
So what is Royce Newman doing there? Like, he has to stop that penetration
He's
and
doing
block
nothing.
the guy that's 3 yards behind him right now instead of looking to the next level. No. This is a slow developing play. You got to hold the point of attack for at least a couple seconds before you move on to the next level there, Royce boy. Continue on. Jeez Louise.
But as you see here, Lazard totally whiffs on the defensive end.
Yeah.
DeGuara, the other thing that's really dumb about this is DeGuara runs this way and then turns around backward with his back to the defense.
He's supposed
So
to
he doesn't
pivot
know what's
back.
going on. Like, why would he turn around the other way so we could see what's going on? It's a really dumb freaking play.
This is terrible.
Okay.
Like you said, way too many variables in here. So many things that could go wrong.
And I don't know if Dylan is supposed to pick off this guy, but he missed him. Now, obviously, he's probably not supposed to be there. That's the guy that just came crazy, splits it right up the middle.
Yep.
But I mean, the line of scrimmage is here. And St. Brown gets the ball here. And there's this guy right in his face. And this is Lazard, who can't pick up a defensive end. Here's Lukey, DeGuara. There's nobody for them to block. If Lazard just got in the way, this play actually could have possibly worked, even though there's a lot of dumb things with it. But why on earth would you have a pulling guard to go this way, your tight end come and then come back, your center pull out like this, your wide receiver pick up a defensive end and have to block him for a really long time? It just makes no sense. And then Devonte is your sealer? Terrible play.
That is not, and that's the wrong personnel to run that play with too. You need a tight end on the end of the line there to steal that big guy down, not a wide receiver.
And I mean, that's the end. It looks worse from the other angle here.
Royce Newman was the initial culprit on that whole play and totally screwed up with all that penetration right in the middle. Please tell me why are you running past that guy? Oh my goodness.
And look at Lukey. Lukey's looking back here like he knows it's over. He's like, oh my God, what is going on?
I'd like to go hit that guy, but he's out of position. He's just going to get some cardio in.
No, that's all he did was get cardio. But I mean, that could be the worst play I've ever seen. For the situation, the execution, the amount of time it takes to get something going, especially against a team where they've proven that they don't mess around. Like, they're going after you. So you should be doing screen passes maybe, or something like that, but not a long, slow developing play with a bunch of guys moving around and vacating the spots so that the guys who are fast and blitzing just got a clean run straight to the backfield. I mean, only two defensive players got in there. Yeah. But because all these offensive players weren't doing anything, it was a disastrous play. Disastrous play. And then it was 2nd and 1,000,000. And then they couldn't do anything. Was that a safe call by LaFleur? Is that the problem that Rodgers and Devonte were talking about? Was that a safe call? That was not a safe call. A reverse with a bunch of moving parts is not a safe call. That was a stupid call.
Like, at that point of the game, like you said, and you've got the lead and you need to get some first downs, possess the ball. Like, come on, man. What kind a play that you never run? Why are you trying to trick them? Just run your offense and get some yards. I mean, come on. That's a terrible call. That's definitely on LaFleur there. I mean, the players, bad execution, but that's something you do when you have a big lead and for like a fun play to try out, that's when you do it. Not when you're that close in the game. But if you're up by like 4 touchdowns and it's the fourth quarter and you want to give it a shot, okay, fine. But not then.
Well, we don't have,
okay.
You got to show some plays? Or whatever, don't you have some plays?
I mean, people are going to give me a hard time about picking apart Eric Stokes, but I got a lot of things to pick apart. And and I'm also really concerned about, and I have a take on Rasul Douglas. I know a lot of people aren't going to jive with, especially now that he's like the superstar Rasul Douglas and made 2 awesome picks. And I get all that. I totally get all of it, but I have some concerns. Now, I said it last week. I hated the defensive coverage game plan. I also hated this week's defensive coverage game plan. Why so much soft coverage? Now, there was Rasul Douglas he was asked about his first interception where he was like to the inside and then peeled off and then went to the outside to the uncovered guy and picked it off, and Baker Mayfield threw it right there. And he said, the guy was like, oh, well, you were in a zone there and you peeled off your guy. And he's like, well, we played mostly man almost the whole game. That's what he said right there, that they were basically in man the whole game. And that him and Sullivan just didn't like communicate it right on there. And then that's why he ended up going to the other guy, because he was like, oh,
not the whole
Sully's
game.
Got this guy. But most
he said every interception was came off a man play call.
Okay. And look, I like Rasul Douglas, and we've been talking about how awesome he has been, and he has been really great in a lot of cases. But the last 2 weeks in this defensive approach, he's not the same guy. He doesn't look engaged. He's not trying that hard on running plays. He's not trying that hard on a number. He doesn't look like the same guy to me that I saw for 4 or 5 weeks where I was like, man, this dude, you can't let him off the field. You need to sign him now. And I'll show you a couple things here. I mean, we'll get into it, but I'm concerned. And the other thing is, I don't know if you heard Alan Lazard talking to Rob Domovsky after the game, and they brought up Rasul Douglas, and Lazard's like, God, pay that man. And he's going off. And so all these players now, because Douglas made the big plays, pay that guy. And those are key big plays. But you know what are also important plays? Coming up when you don't have a guy blocking you and filling and stopping the run, which Douglas used to do. And the last couple weeks, not really. And in this game, And Stokes, no, not good at doing that either. So Ben's looking confused, so I might as well show some plays. I don't know if I can cue it all up here or not, but I'll try to find it.
I don't think you know what you're talking about.
Okay, well, fine. Let's take a look. Here we go. We'll talk about Douglas first, and then I got to dissect Stokes, because Stokes, I have a major issue with everybody telling me how he's going to be fine and blah, 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 and all this stuff. However, with him, this past week, Joe Barry raving about him, Matt LaFleur raving about Eric Stokes. So I need to clarify to you that the coaches are misrepresenting this player to the fan base right now. So I don't want you to be confused. So let's get this straight. But let's look at Douglas here first. Let's look at Douglas here real first. All right. Here's an example. Rasul Douglas, right here. You see him. You see him, right? He's right here. Bottom of the screen. This is going to be a run play coming to his side. All right. First quarter, 6-7. Offense just scored. Let's get a stop here defensively, right? Let's go. But let's see what he does. All right, he backs up because he's playing coverage. This is going to be a reverse play. All right, Preston Smith gets sucked inside, fooled by the action. These guys all flow in here. Everybody's flowing over this way. It's not looking good. Preston Smith's probably supposed to have the edge there. Look at this receiver in perfect position to shield him off. Peoples-Jones, he's in the right spot for shielding a guy off. And, of course, our guys won't attack to beat that seal block. They're
That's
just
the key.
confused.
Our guys don't attack.
They stand back there.
They just stand there and watch it happen. Which is why that play that the Packers ran probably worked great in practice, because they went up against our crappy defense. That's why LaFleur called it later. He didn't realize, oh yeah, good
Fair
defense would attack and mess stuff up.
Fair enough. All right, so we don't see Douglas yet because this is the highlight view. Now look at this, Peoples-Jones. Man, he attacked Preston Smith, and Preston Smith is knocked back on this play. And I like Preston Smith, but he was pretty passive on this one, and he got his butt whooped by a receiver. All right, got shielded off. Now Douglas comes up right here. Now, I'm just going to tell you.
Hold on a second. God dang it.
I'm just going to tell you. I know
There's two freaking guys coming straight for him and the ball carrier. What is he supposed to do?
Here,
I will tell you. He can't go low against guys that are in open field to mess up the play. Come on. That's ridiculous. You're ridiculous.
Ben, I will tell you what he's supposed to do. He is the outside contain. That is his responsibility right now. Because the guy on the line
there is no outside.
Yes, there is. Right now.
Now there's three blockers in front of him. One, two, three.
There's two right here. These two and him.
Who's 77 going to get?
This guy's got the ball. Now just stop. I'm trying to
you just stop. This is a dumb. You're going to complain about him on this play?
I'm trying to explain something to you. His responsibility is to come up, play the outside, force this back inside. All right? And the Rasul Douglas we saw a couple weeks ago, he came up and attacked this stuff. He had multiple guys in front of him, and he didn't care. He came up and attacked it. But what does he do on this play? Not that. Let me tell you. Watch him. That is not the Rasul Douglas I know. Number one, he didn't play his responsibility, and he still lets the guy get to the outside. I understand he was trying to avoid the two blockers, and he does try to split them here. Okay, he's looking. He's like, but look at these two blockers. They're stupid. This guy's already looking inside for Savage. This receiver's coming to get him. That's the reason he gets past there, because for whatever reason, the blockers didn't really try to block him. Okay, now he jukes inside, which is a mistake. It's a mistake. He has to attack out here to force it back inside. That is the outside corner. That is your responsibility on the play. He did not play his responsibility, and he gave a pretty pathetic effort here to try to make a tackle.
Let me ask you a question, because you're making no sense to me. If he had gone to the outside, that would be a touchdown. You know why? Because there was nobody there to back him up. The guy would have took off running. Do you think Savage would have got there and would have made a play? He's proven he can't freaking tackle anybody either.
That's Savage's problem. Then that's your pursuit's problem. But
when you have two blockers in front of you and you just split the both of them and made a play and got in the back
inside
and tried to make a tackle.
Okay.
He missed the tackle, but he was there to make a play. He did a great job.
Let's watch this one. See if you have the same two.
He did a great job.
Now he's right here. Here. I disagree that he played it wrong. And he gave kind of a weak tackle effort. Let's watch this one. It's a running play again. Douglas is right here, okay? And I like Douglas. I'm just telling you, he's not looking like the same guy the last couple weeks. He's made some crazy, awesome picks, yes. But in the rest of his game, doesn't look the same. And I think part of it is the defense, the way they're playing a lot of coverage, it's not suiting him as well. All right. So he's here. You got a guy coming around. They're giving it to Chubb, okay? Garvin's supposed to hold the edge. Campbell's coming inside. They're trying to seal him off. They seal the other guys off. All right. This lead blocker's coming. I get it. But Zool, the lead blocker, misses him. And that was a pretty weak tackle attempt.
Right you are ridiculous. That was a great play by him.
If you watch it in real time,
he avoided the block.
Watch it in real time.
Tried to make the tackle and brought the guy back inside.
I can't tell if it's choppy for you, so I'm going to let it play. And if you watch it in real time, it's a pretty pathetic attempt at a tackle. That is not the way he tackled previously. He would attack stuff. Hopefully you can see it real time. Pretty sad. Pretty pathetic attempt at a tackle. I'm just saying. So I love Rasul Douglas. I just don't like that. I just don't like that stuff at all. I just don't like it. And a lot of the times they're having him play off, which I understand. He's good at breaking on routes and stuff. but I don't like him playing off that much. I just don't. And I don't think he likes it either. I really don't. So you can say I'm wrong. That's fine. But I'm telling you, the one was a bad responsibility. Look, if the pursuit from the inside doesn't get there, it's not your fault. You play your role. You play your responsibility. Those deficiencies are then pointed out in your defensive game review, and you talk about those other guys who need to get their pursuit and get their butts over there to help make the play. But you got to play your role, and his role on that person was outside contain. So there's a couple things now with Eric Stokes, because it looks worse with him, and I didn't like the way he played the run a lot, and I also didn't like the way he played passes a lot. But anyway, I have one really, really, really disgusting play, and if it's choppy, it won't do it justice again. But Eric Stokes, first of all, let's take a quick look at an early play in the game right here. And I just want, I don't understand what the guy is really good at. I understand they're stacked here. They got a couple of receivers. Okay, trying to see what they do. But he knows right here that Amos has this tight end. This is his receiver. They're playing man coverage here with one safety in the middle. This receiver is already broke. His head is around. Why is he so late to react and still so far off? There's nobody behind him. There's nobody that ran back here. And even if they were, it's man coverage. Why is he so far off, this guy? I don't like how all these guys are so far off their guys. But in this case, your guy is right there. He already broke. Baker's looking. Ball's coming. Where are you, man? Now he's trying to close for a tackle. And he's late with that too. So he gets dragged, and it's almost a touchdown. This kind of stuff happens a lot with him, okay? I think, now I'm not going to totally blame him on this. I think they're having him play soft. I don't understand the defensive game plan, the soft game plan the last 2 weeks. It's allowed teams to just get easy throws in front, just like that. Can you explain it, Ben? Why are they playing so soft in their defensive coverages? It makes zero sense to me.
Because they're afraid of giving up a touchdown, even though eventually they're going to. Because they just keep giving up easy passes.
Okay.
They're all really stupid.
Against the backup quarterback for the Ravens, a guy who's athletic and can run like crazy, but isn't the most accurate passer, against Baker Mayfield, who is not the most accurate passer, you're going to give him the easy throws in front and not make him throw it over you to make tougher throws? How does that make sense to anybody who's a defensive coach?
Dumb.
All right. I'm not even going to go through some of the other things, because a lot of it is, well, I do have to show this one because Jimmy Johnson pointed it out. Now, this is actually the savage pick, okay? The savage pick where when you really look at it, Rasul Douglas was responsible for that too. So he made 2 interceptions himself, and then he caused interference and gave Savage this pick. So he kind of almost had 3 turnovers in this game. Now, here's Eric Stokes right here. He's got this receiver. If Baker Mayfield had not tried to throw the ball here, this over route was wide open for a big game because Stokes is so late. Look at his position right now. He was playing off to start. He is not in a good position to stay with his guy, to run up he's not in a good position to run up the field. He's not in a good position to pursue this way. And because of it, he gets beat really, really bad. Now, you can't see him now, but you'll get to see him in a second when the ball is thrown. Right here. That guy, that's 5 yards of separation right there. And if Mayfield wasn't so dumb trying to hit this big one, he could have got a big play just as big just by throwing it here, the easy throw. But that's man coverage. He has the guy across the field. You're not passing it off here. He's not even close to his guy. He's just not. So people can keep telling me he's going to be fine, blah, blah, blah. I will mark it down now. Eric Stokes is not going to be fine. Eric Stokes is not going to be a premier corner in this league, and he is not going to be worth the number 1 pick. I guarantee you. So we'll see how the rest of his career goes, but I can guarantee you that right now. He's as good as we got right now. He's definitely.
Then he'll fit in fine with every other first-round pick the Packers have ever made because they all suck. So what the heck's the big problem?
I don't want to hear
Who cares?
Now we got one more Eric Stokes play that we have to watch because it was the worst. It was the most egregious, and it's another example of why the run defense was so bad. That's the other reason I have to show it to you. So it comes up right after this play. So we'll cycle through here. All right. Again, you have to, if you're an unblocked guy, and if you're a corner on the outside, you have a couple of jobs. Number 1 is outside contain. But number 2, when you're unblocked, you got to come up and attack. You have to force the ball back inside and hope pursuit helps, but you also have to attack it. You can't just be so passive. And this is going to be a play that comes out this side. Now watch, here's Eric Stokes right here, right there. Douglas is actually up tight on this one, which I like. Stokes is way off down here. The ball snapped, the hand off out of the shotgun. Look at Stokes. He's still looking, still sitting, still squatting back here. The ball was handed off. I guess he's reading these receivers, not looking to the backfield. That's fine. He should figure out it's a run. I think now he finally does. And he's starting to go to the outside. Okay, his guy did not block him at all. At all. You got, I think it's Amos here, tied up with this receiver. Stokes has a free shot here. Free shot. What he should do is come with outside leverage and attack this guy. Force him back. Look, you gotta some trailer here. These guys really aren't involved. You do have Amos. You should have somebody else coming in here, but I don't see him yet. But you have to attack here. And he does not. Now, I don't know if that was choppy for you, but it's pretty damn sad when you look at it. Pretty damn sad. Let's watch it one more time. Is it choppy?
I think you have a gripe, but you have a gripe with the wrong player.
That is pathetic.
I mean, that guy sucks. That was a dumb play, but
pathetic.
You're missing. Can you give that back up again?
Okay.
The problem on for a guy who keeps talking about contain, I thought that for sure you would have seen that. Watch Rashawn Gary on this play. Now, I don't know if it's a stunt call. If it's called the stunt, there's not much we can do about that.
Yeah, they've been having their problems with contain the last couple of games for sure. I know.
But look at that.
It looks like a stunt. I mean, he crashed inside hard. It looks like Kenny Clark was supposed to be stunting out this way.
Right.
And they're all just, so it was a good play call against that pass rush stunt. But still, you have to identify. I don't know what's going on here. Why is Black and Amos here?
Blake and Amos are covering the same guy. It makes no sense.
Right.
Sully is
Sullivan
one-on-one.
Trying to man up. But Stokes, like, this is a really, really bad attempt at just even playing it. Like, you have to do something here. I mean, look at him. He's got a free shot right now, okay? He's an athletic guy, fast. He's 8 yards away from this dude with nobody in front of him. He should be a heat-seeking missile, cutting that guy off and attacking the play. That gives Dean Lowry a chance to help out right there, if he can do it. But instead, he jumps outside, which is, yes, he should cover outside, but he has to attack this. He has to attack it. And then he's out of position to change direction. We know he's not good at changing direction, and he does nothing. He looks like another guy who used to wear that jersey right there. He looks like another guy who used to wear number 21.
Well, it's not the guy I'm thinking of.
Not Charles Woodson.
Oh, okay.
One after him.
Oh.
I got problems with the dude. So sorry, Bruce. I know he's your guy, but dang it, he's not good.
Whoa.
He's not good.
That's not nice to say. I think Bruce is here.
I'm sorry. Oh, Bruce did show up.
I just saw that.
Well, Bruce had some points. He's defending Stokes already, but Stokes is terrible.
My concern is
Throw him on a
not with
bunch of
Stokes. My concern is with the third-year player who's a first-round pick who's supposed to be good. Why don't we watch this play?
He's really bad too.
Why don't we watch this play?
What is going on with him?
Here you go.
So bad.
You were talking about Stokes, who was 8 yards off of Chubb. What is Savage looking at?
What is he doing there? What are you doing?
Here's the running
Attack
back.
the play.
Here's the safety. You just go in and you
He has
attack him.
outside. Yeah,
And-
the corner has outside responsibility there. You go fly up the field and get him.
And Kenny Clark is jogging over here, of course.
Kenny
He always
Clark is super
but
slow.
still,
Yeah, he's super
Savage. This is Savage's job. At least get in the way, right? Why was he still running that way? He
zero
ran
sense.
he ran to the outside like 3 more steps for reasons nobody knows.
No, terrible.
But this is Savage's fault, and this is a huge gain, and it's all Savage's fault. Get in there and make the frickin' play. You're a frickin' safety. Then he whiffs.
yeah,
Then Chubb is just, I didn't even show the rest of the play because who cares after that? But that's the kind of stuff that concerns me.
well, yeah, they were all.
Is a third-year guy who was a first-round pick who's supposed to be good, who's not good, who's
He's
not
so
doing the things he's supposed to be doing.
inconsistent. Like some games he looks pretty good, and
Now
other
I got
games he looks like that. I
I got another guy that I'm going to show that is going to make people mad. Are you
Let's
ready?
make him mad. We'll get a bunch of hate.
I
on
love
this
making
one,
people
too.
mad. I don't even care anymore. Let's just make people mad. But that's fixable. You can tell Savage, hey, Savage,
True.
that's
True.
your guy. Go make a play. You can show him in the film study and be like, dude, what the crap's your problem?
And you can
This
do.
play-
I'm telling you, you can do those things I showed you with the run fits for the corners. You can do the same thing. You can say, look, like, hey, this is your responsibility. Remember that when this happens, it's your responsibility, but you got to attack the play. Because if you force it back, that was always a thing that was told to you as an outside contained player. Okay, if you force it back inside, pursuit should help. So you don't just sit there and be passive. You attack the play, but you maintain outside leverage. That is outside responsibility. Whether you're a corner, whether you're outside linebacker, whether you're a defensive end, that's what you need to do.
All right.
Those are coachable pieces.
Now I'm going to show you some Devonte Campbell plays. And I'm not saying he's a bad player. I think he's a good player. But the credit that he's been getting is kind of ridiculous. This is a passing play on 2nd and 15. Now, it doesn't matter. After this play happened, Gary got a sack or something and forced a field goal, so it's fine. But on 2nd and 15, you'd think he would be a little better than this. So what's going to happen here is there's going to be 3 guys coming out in the pattern, right? On this side. And I don't know if it's man or zone or what it is. But if you look here, Chris Barnes has his eyes in the backfield. Over here you have Amos with his eye on Chubb. Here you got Stokes with his eyes, I don't know what he's looking at. And then you got Campbell here, and he's looking over here at these 2 guys. Not looking at the quarterback. So I don't know if it's man, if it's zone. If it was man, these guys wouldn't be, these 2, I don't think they would be in that type of position. Like they're kind of just stationary. It's weird. Okay. So, based on what's happening here, I think this is a man call with a robber in the middle of the field. But look at Devonte Campbell. He's just watching this guy. Like that must be his coverage guy. I don't know. But once he stops and turns around, like, wouldn't you want to put your head around and look for the ball to see where the ball's coming or anything? But he doesn't. And Baker knows he's not even looking. And Baker throws to this tight end right here. And Devonte Campbell's right here. Like, just turn around and play the ball. Look at their quarterback. And it's completed like right by his ear almost. I don't know. It just seemed like a weird play to me for a guy to like, it's like he's not paying attention.
That was the coverage so soft. Like whether it's man combo there or it's zone, it's just so damn soft. Like what? I don't understand with the success they had when they were not playing so soft. and defending passes better and allowing the rush, like kind of jamming guys and getting up tighter. Why all of a sudden the last 2 games against inferior passing quarterbacks, they decided to play this way? It's really perplexing to me. I just don't get it.
And this play is a running play. I want you to watch, Campbell. With all these pulling guards, as an inside linebacker, when I'm seeing 2 guards pull like this, that should tell me it's an outside run.
It's one of your keys.
So I should probably make my way to the outside, not try to cut it off this way. Because by the time you get through this mess, it's going to be way past you. Plus, there's going to be blockers in front over here. Right?
Yep.
Watch what Campbell does.
The only guy for that is probably JOK. Maybe should fly in there, but otherwise.
Yeah, but Campbell shoots right up the middle, and by the time he's there, Chubb is way gone.
Yeah.
He's way gone.
Amos is put in a really bad spot. Yep.
And then next thing you know, you got Dean Lowry and, all these guys trying to catch him. It's not a good play.
I'll say I want to see Kenny Clark and TJ Slayton in the foot race because TJ Slayton looked way faster right there.
Yeah. But here's Campbell. He's right over here.
Better.
And what he should be doing, and the other thing is that Tipanali, he's just not good. I don't know why he was in there so much.
Unless Gary's still a little dinged, or I don't know either. But okay, so I'll explain to you real quick. Campbell. So if there's just one backer in the middle, and he's got to read. He reads the pulling guard. Okay, that's one of his run reads. But he also still should stay about half a man to the inside of the running back, just to watch out for the cutback, okay? But
he just shot inside.
I know. So he played it completely wrong. He needed to go lateral and flow down the line and kind of maintain the spacing with the running back. And then when he saw him commit to the outside, then he comes up and attacks it. But instead, you're right. He what was his name? Kamal Martin did. He just flew in the gap that was behind the running back where he had no chance of making a play. And yeah, he had penetration, but he had no chance of getting there in time.
And can you tell me what is the other thing that bothers me is the Packers defensive backs keep going low. First of all, it's illegal to do that nowadays.
It's a crazy.
Why don't you just try to get around these big fat offensive linemen? You're a small defensive back. Juke him out of his shorts and make a play. But look at Amos. What are you going to do there? If you cut out this guy, that just means this guy is running for more yards.
You're basically setting up a pancake right there. He's just going to smother you and squish you.
It's just dumb.
Yeah.
What's the point of that?
Yeah, it's not good. And you might get a penalty. So
he should have got a penalty on that play. He went too low.
It's a problem. I mean, we've seen that a couple times, and it's a crazy thing when you're a small guy and you got a 300-pound guy coming at you, but to not be able to kind of attack the block low to at least get that blocker out of the way. But yeah, I mean, right now you're probably not big enough and strong enough to kind of fight the block and hold them up. So you've got to make a choice. You attack inside or outside based on your responsibility, based on the leverage of the play, and you try to make a play. You don't just go to your knee and let them, smear you in the ground. That's not any good, and possibly get a penalty. It's a personal foul too, right? It's 15 yards. So that's a terrible play. That's a terrible play.
Well, I mean, I think opposing teams have figured out, okay, and we're going to look out for this. We're going to see a lot more pulling guards because our defensive backs do not do well in space against pulling guards, and our defensive line is too slow, so they don't even block them. They don't even care. They're not going to get there. And they know, and opposing teams know this. So we're going to see more of this as the season goes on, next couple of weeks and then in the playoffs.
You know what we need? We need some Zadarius flying up the
field.
Oh, my
God. No, we don't.
Not having any responsibilities. He might blow up those outside plays. You never know.
Okay.
Or he might just run at the quarterback. You never know.
This is a communication issue. I don't know what is going on here with these guys.
Just wait. I got an issue before you go any further.
What?
You're telling me Preston Smith is man coverage on the back right there?
I don't know what's going on here.
It looks as though Preston Smith is man coverage on the back.
You're right,
really
but
don't
it's
like
not just
that.
Preston Smith. I'm going to show you a fun fact. It's also Eric Stokes.
Double the flat. Double the flat.
They double the flat and leave this guy go, and then this guy beats Shannon Sullivan, and there you go.
Double the flat.
There you go. Oh, that's Savage. So Savage and Preston on 1st and 10, by the way, are really worried about this running back getting to the flat. Like look at them. They're both really worried about it. Meanwhile, Savage just let that guy just go behind him. Well, guess where Baker throws it? Right here. Jan Sullivan can't stay with Landry. Landry's a pro. I mean, come on. That's 1st and 10, and then he breaks the tackle, blah, blah, blah. I mean, Preston hustled to get to make the tackle on that play.
He's one of our fastest big guys in pursuit. Like, he's one of the only guys that kind of pursues pretty good and actually has some speed, or it looks like it anyway.
What I want to know is what happened to Rasul Douglas
He was manned up with Peoples Jones.
And Peoples Jones, yeah, but where did they go?
They just kept running downfield. There. And then that's what I'm saying. Douglas just kind of played with guys there a little bit. Well, he turned his back. Now he's just running with them. He still doesn't know what's going on there. Now he sees it, but he's like, I guess we'll just keep running and holding each other. Corners and wide receivers are weird sometimes. They like to stay away from the action.
Yeah.
They don't want to get accidentally rolled up on their ankle or something like that, and fine, whatever. But come on, man. These guys need some help. They need help. Help them out.
I want to keep this going because we're going to show another play later on, so we can talk about some more stuff. Right. But this is the second touchdown drive of the Browns.
I don't like this.
They made a stop there, so it looks like, hey, 1st and 10, we kind of made a stop, so we're all happy.
Yeah, they really. Unfortunately, they really celebrate like a 4-yard gain.
They do.
Where they stop a running back for 4 yards. I'm like, that's not good enough, guys.
No. And then the Packers on offense are getting 2 yards on 1st down, and they're just happy with that.
Yeah. All right. What else you got? More coming?
I made some fun guns too, by the way. Sorry about that, everybody.
That's nice. Now, I'm not saying Baker Mayfield was good in this game. He was terrible, but I'm just saying his coaches shouldn't have let him throw those dumb passes. That's all.
I mean, what is that?
It up, kept throwing picks.
Now there's Rasul Douglas playing off.
Yeah, that was another weird one where it's like, what?
Shannon Sullivan.
I can't fully say it's him there, but like, what is this coverage?
I don't know.
What are we calling here? What are we doing, Joe Barry? I'm so confused. Why do you want to sit and let the guys just?
They're both him and Shannon Sullivan are 10 yards back, and they're both covering nothing. It was just weird. Okay, now this is the other double the flat play.
It got super choppy there, so you might have to go give it a couple stops here, frame stops.
So here we go. Here's your flat guy. You have Devonte Campbell and Eric Stokes. They're both covering the same guy. And then right behind him, which I don't know if you can see,
now
there's a wide open guy.
If it's a man play, generally the inside backer has the back and the flat. So you can kind of assume that the adjustment wasn't made. Stokes, that's probably his guy.
Yeah, I'm sure it's Stokes' guy.
But it's like, dude, how are they so bad at communicating when they need to make adjustments? The Packers run all this motion all the time, right? And other teams have to then adjust and communicate to the other defensive backs to say, okay, now I'm doing this, you're doing that. Why are the Packers so bad at it? Why do they not know what's going on? A bunch of times.
And here's the other thing. Where is Rashawn Gary? Why is Oren Burks in here?
I don't know. There's too much Burks on defense.
And look at all these guys. You got Savage, Amos, Burks. They're all clogging up the middle on this. They bite hard on the play fake.
Now, before you move it, I just got to say this. Now, if you're Oren Burks, right? You're Oren Burks. By this point, you should know what you are in the NFL. You're not very good, right?
Right. You should know that guy let you go.
So when this guy, you got off the block that quick, come on, Oren Burks. You got to know something's up when they let you go. When you beat a guy that fast, something's up, dude. Turn around. Do something. Yuck.
And here's it. Campbell's like, this is what, listen, I love Campbell. But he is very focused on his assignment, not necessarily aware of what's going on around him. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
This is Jarvis Landry or the running back 30, right? Okay. But they both go to the flat. Like Campbell should realize this guy is sneaking behind you. Like, stop and make a play. Like, get your hand up and bat the ball down. I think he's done that before. I think I saw him do that once before. That's why it's so weird. He doesn't even know what's going on. Like, what is he going to do by running that running back? The running back doesn't have the ball.
I understand.
Why is Steve looking at him the whole time?
Right. I understand it's not his. I understand his assignment is the back there, but I would say that when you look out and you see another guy out there, and you also can see in your peripheral vision, at least, even if you're looking out to the flat, that tight end coming right directly at you. He almost ran into you, right, as you were running out to the flat. I would say a heads-up guy would probably just adjust and be like, okay, I'm going to stick with this guy because you got that guy in the flat. We got it, okay? And that's certainly a play you can make. Now, the other thing there was, what the hell was Savage doing? Why was he standing back there in the middle and not attacking that tight end that just ran up the field free?
Savage is bad.
Savage, what is he doing?
He's not good. He's really terrible. He like I said, he should not be in there when it's goal line situations. But the interesting thing about this game is the Browns, they'd have a big play and they'd get inside the 5-yard line and they would immediately call another play. Like, they did not have any substitutions. They didn't let the Packers adjust or anything. Where we're used to with the Packers and Aaron Rodgers, where he's got to wait till the last second on the play clock, let the defense get all set up, blah, blah, blah. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we're going to watch these two plays. Back-to-back plays.
I got to say, as we watch them too, I'm just I don't know how many times you see it where the Packers, the other team, and this has gone on for years. This isn't just under the Joe Barry. This has been for years and years and years. The other team's set up. The other team is set up, ready to go, and the Packers aren't even lined up yet. And guys aren't even in their stances on the defensive line. They're still figuring out what coverage they're doing. Like, why are they almost never ready? They're almost never ready. It's not even just when a team goes quick. It could be, there could be 10 seconds on the play clock, and they're still kind of screwing around. I'm like, dude, they could snap it at any point here, and you're out of position. You're already at a disadvantage. Yet they continually, repeatedly end up not looking like they're ready, even lined up and ready to go. It's just mind-boggling.
Well, this play you showed earlier, but the reason why I want to show it is because it's 3rd and 10. We know that Gary does a stunt or something here and gives up the outside. Black can't get past this guy. Black goes with him, and he actually cuts off Amos over here. And then Kenny Clark or Preston or whoever this is just standing there looking dumb.
Yeah, they're expecting a pass there, so they ran a stunt, and it really screwed them.
And then Savage is pathetic. Okay, but now here's the other thing. So the Browns right away, like, they couldn't even finish showing that replay because the Browns are already lined up ready to go. And here's Rasul Douglas up here by himself with his hands going, hey, guys, there's 2 guys here. I'm all by myself, right? Then over here you got Savage and Amos and Henry Black and Campbell. They're all trying to figure out what to do. They're all standing in the same freaking spot. And you wonder why we give up a touchdown.
Baker Mayfield already has his hands extended. He's like, he's ready for the snap. Look at this. This is inexcusable.
Why are they telling Black to go over here when they've already got 1, 2, 3 guys over on this? And obviously he's going to pass rush, but they've got this covered over here. So why is Black running over here and then nobody over here and Douglas all by himself?
And this is not instant replay. This happened a couple of weeks ago. Remember where Douglas was out there, 2 guys outside and just him again? Like, what? How does this happen? How is that? I don't like. This is the point. At this point, as a defensive player, I'm just going to say before you run it or even go any further, is like at any level of football right there, a team is going to go quick. You know what you do? Like, yeah, you're getting a call in from the sideline or whatever it is, and the inside backer is supposed to relay it to everybody. But you know what? At that point, when they're actually lined up, you just figure it out. You just you make a call. You say, like, we're going man or we're going zone here. You make a call, base, whatever, and you just go with it. So your guys are everyone's at least covered, or everyone at least has some responsibility of the field on defense. You
I
can't
think
be
LaFleur
running
needs
around
to.
and
LaFleur needs to call a timeout. He needs to have his head in the game at all times. I don't know what he's doing during this is going on. I don't know if he's talking to Rodgers about what's going to happen if they give up a touchdown. Like, I don't care about all that. You got to manage the game. When you see guys who don't know what the hell's going on, and you see Douglas all by himself with two receivers on the same side of the field inside the 5-yard line, hello, call a damn timeout. Your guys are not ready. You're going to give up a touchdown. Now, gradually, they probably are going to give a touchdown anyway because they stink. But at least it might take a little bit longer and take more time off the clock when you're up by 9 points. But they don't call a timeout. And I blame LaFleur for that.
And look what this ends up being here real quick before you go any further. Look how many Packer defenders here for covering pass.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And there you got 3 guys. You got 2 guys out there and you got the back potentially. And then you got finally Savage working his way over there, but it's too late. It's too late, dude. They already snapped the ball.
And the weird thing is, after his press conference, Rasul Douglas said it was his fault.
Which is crap.
I'm like, no, it's not your fault. What are you supposed to do, cover both of them? They asked him what happened, and he was like, well, I was trying to just kind of, I was waiting for somebody to get over there, so I was trying to just kind of stay in between the two of them and hopefully like break up the pass or something, but I should have just stayed with my assignment or my guy. And it's like, no, dude, you stood at the line, at the goal line and tried to make a play in case the ball was thrown. Because a normal quarterback would have probably threw it to the slack guy right now. And then maybe Douglas and Savage would have tackled him at the 1-yard line. But Baker was actually smart on this play, or dumb, I don't know, or whatever, where he let Savage go past him. So right here, now Savage is coming up, and Douglas is like, uh-oh. And he's watching Baker. He's not watching what's going on here. And Savage overcommits to Landry. And then you got the wide receiver going right behind it. Baker just throws it here. There's nobody there because there's nobody in the middle of the field. Because guess what? Here's Amos and Campbell and Black and Stokes and frickin' Shannon Sullivan. All 5 of them are within 5 yards of each other, way over here. And there's nobody over here other than Savage, who crashed down at the frickin' Landry. And then obviously there's nobody in the back of the end zone.
At the last second. And before that, like, Douglas has to play it that way because the inside guy is the biggest threat to start. Yep. So until you got a guy, when you don't have anybody else over there, the inside guy is the bigger threat. And at least he made him make the throw over the top in order for it to work. But, I mean, come on, Savage. And
look at him. See how pissed he was?
Yeah.
But then after the game, in his press conference, he's like, oh, I screwed up. You didn't screw up, dude. Douglas didn't screw up.
Now, in reality, that was his guy probably on the defensive play. He's probably supposed to cover the outside guy. And yes, technically, I'm sure that was his responsibility. But when you got 2 guys like that and nobody else over there, the bigger threat is the guy in the slot on the inside. You got to kind of cheat that way. And then whatever happens, happens. It's not his fault. Not to mention he was responsible for 3 turnovers. So, pretty good. Pro Bowl alternate in 6 games or 7 games or whatever he's played? 7 games? That's ridiculous. I just want to see him attack more against the run. I like the way he used to. So, but that's kind of the only thing I'm wondering about, because he talked about that too. He was talking about, we just kind of pick our spots and get, see when we can get one. And so, and I understand most corners think that way, right? Most corners don't want to come up and make big tackles and stuff like that. And they'll think like, okay, sometimes I'm going to give up plays, and that's fine. And you are sometimes. But then you're kind of searching for that splash play. Now, that's what Z would do. But this is different than Z because this is a cornerback who doesn't, engage with a guy every single play and have the chance to maybe make a play every single play. But I love that part of his game so much, the way he attacks and tackles and with run support. He was so valuable when you have corners that do that. Look at how the Browns corners made a big difference in the run defense yesterday. And I don't know. I love that physical style of play. And the safeties too. And the Packers don't have, you already know Savage is not a big hitter and attacker. We already know that. And we also already know that Amos, even though he's bigger and is better at run support than Savage, he's actually better at playing deep safety than Savage. So
Savage stinks. Period. That's what that means.
He's just not good. Shoot.
They got to start playing together again. They got to start attacking again. They're all playing passive, weird crap, and we can't have that anymore.
Yeah, Barry's I don't know what he's doing, but I don't like it. I sure as hell don't like it.
I know.
Because the pass rush was okay at times yesterday. At times it was non-existent. At times it was pretty good. And, how many of those times they got sacks or pressured Mayfield or whatever where guys may be open downfield too, but we didn't get to see it. So covers it up. Good pass rush can cover up bad coverage, just like good coverage can help the pass rush. We got to start putting that together. If the Packers want to win a Super Bowl, if they want to be as good as they want to be, they got to do it.
All right, I got to get going. I got to go to work.
All right, thanks for all your plays and all your insight. Sorry you didn't like me picking on or pointing out. I wasn't even picking on him.
I don't think you were. I don't know. I think you're
I was just pointing out that they were not playing that hard, especially not trying to stop the run. And it pissed me off, dude. I didn't like it. Didn't like it at all. I don't blame all the coverage stuff on the.
I don't think you're
because I think the coverage stuff issue is the defensive plan, and I hate the defensive plan in the last 2 games. I do.
I think you're wrong about the plays you showed of Douglas. He didn't get blocked. He got in there and tried to make a play and missed a tackle a couple times. I think that's what happened. The play that I showed with Savage, that's the one that's really sad, where he's just sitting in the hole and just doesn't even make the play.
I know. You're correct. But go watch those plays in real time. The effort does not look like it's.
I've seen them.
It doesn't look like good effort, man. It just doesn't. So, and that's disappointing. So we'll hope that, we just hope that they change their defensive approach to be more aggressive. That's the other part. LaFleur talks about all the time. They said it as halftime quotes with the reporter that we need to be more aggressive and play tighter on the receivers. Well, then why do they?
I don't know.
Did they not talk? Does he not talk to Joe Barry?
I don't know.
All right, lots to figure out. We'll talk more next time. Be good.
All right, see you later.